It's the Midwest Connectz, and we keep the streets on smash.
Niggas take your girl. Touch your more paper than the teller. Going for the bullshit whenever.
Other, other promoters, other marketers, other bloggers in these markets, so that when we get there, we can do things like this and help the artists get their word out a little bit. So that's all we're trying to do, is connect the dots.
Mobile, Alabama, to be here tonight. You know what I'm saying? We got Chicago coming up. We got Cincinnati coming up. We're be doing a 5-city tour with Empire, giving away a single distribution deal in 5 Midwest cities. We got Benzino coming to my market. We got Benzino coming to his market. We got a lot of stuff working currently. Big Buzz is coming to our Halloween party. I don't know if y'all get down with country rap, but we doing that for Halloween, man. Just a lot of stuff working. Like I said, I'm excited to be here. We're here to check out the talent. Hopefully bring somebody on a couple of these shows. You feel me? Tonight, so everybody tune in. Make sure y'all networking, because again, your network is your net worth. You hear me? Midwest Connectz, you ain't connected? Let you respect it.
What up, everybody? What up? What up, man? Y'all know what it is. It's your man Uncanny, and you have now tapped in for another episode of the Connectz radio show, where we spin the hottest and unsigned and independent hip hop and R&B, plus interviews with the brightest stars in the culture. Man, we're gonna bring y'all some legendary stars. When I say legendary, I mean legendary. These brothers have done things in the game only few have done, and many have dreamed of. Man, I'm gonna bring y'all Triggerrun right here, right now. Triggerrun, what's going on?
Yo, salute DJ Uncanny. What's the deal, man?
Thank you for having us, man.
Without a doubt, it's a blessing to be here today, bro.
Man, happy to have y'all here. So talk to me, man. Y'all started y'all legendary career a long time ago. How did Triggerrun get started?
Man, just being a brotherhood, kids growing up in the neighborhoods, man, getting together, high school, even middle school. Triggerrun came together in high school, but we've been knowing each other and rocking out doing talent shows ever since we were like 11, 12 years old.
Yeah.
And I cousin Sincere
Kill.
Yeah.
Nice. So talk to me, man. So Triggerrun started as a dance collective. How did y'all get going with that?
And that's it.
Well, you know what? We started on the dance. It was a crew of like 10. You know what I mean? So we was like that Wu-Tang Clan of the South in Georgia, and we actually brought hip hop to Albany, Georgia,
Southwest region.
Yeah, to the country, because we always inspired to be Def Jam. We grew up on Def Jam. We grew up on LL Cool J, and all the hip hop, before the South even got a spark, right? Mm-hmm. So we just got into it to win talent shows. Mm-hmm. So we started dancing and help us to get into the studio. Yeah. So it was a long trek, so we still pushing today, trying to pay ourselves our roses, you know what I mean, so to speak.
Absolutely. And with those dance skills and winning various competitions around the South, you placed yourself to be in some major motion pictures. Talk to us first about kind of winning those talent shows and positioning yourself, and then you can go ahead and drop the bomb on them in the movies you were in.
Oh, for sure, man. Listen, we made our first television debut back at the Apollo in New York, right? And we rocked out there, and we just been moving forward. Dance classes. I know I went to Florida A&M University. I'm marching the March of 100, and Triggerrun. Once we hit manhood, we raised families and we took some alternative routes, but I kept developing, kept moving, we stayed in contact and things. and ended up landing a role in drumline because, like I said, I'm marching play snare drum for 4 years. So part of that, that Z528. And yeah, man. So when it came out, back in 2002, got that role with Charles Stone. That was great. And then 4 years after that, Stomp the Yard, which was all about stepping in. And it just came 360, because when we were kids, what we did before dancing was stepping. Yeah. Because back down, Greek culture was real big. We were part of HBCU love. Like Albany State University, we were a part of a junior fraternity called Phi Kappa Alpha.
Which were the little brothers of the Kappa Alpha side.
Exactly. Yeah. So we had the canes and we was doing our thing, and we were transforming that culture then. And then we brought dance in and took it to a whole nother level. So
elevation.
Yeah. So from just our culture at school and at home to the big screen.
No, that's dope. That's dope to have those kind of movie credits for something outside of just acting, for bringing that talent to the big screen. What was it like being on a big movie production? What's that like? Everybody's not going to have that experience. Kind of break it down for us.
It was exciting. When I got to drumline, it just felt like everything fell into place. Like I said, my man here in the Gill, violinist, he came up. He's an athlete, quarterback, but he also plays saxophone and violin. So he's an all-American dude. You know what I mean? That guy, right? And I was always, piano, drums. So when you get a movie like that, it's like, it feels like the stars have aligned. Like, you stay ready so you don't have to get ready. It was that kind of thing. So it actually, when it came, it was like, it felt like it was a pull, like I need to be here. This makes sense. This is what I've been doing. This is the kind of thing we've been doing all of our life. So it wasn't a reach. All I had to do is just show up and do my best, and that still wasn't a guarantee, but I was very well prepared. It was the same thing with Stomp the Yard. It literally took me 2 years of pursuing the choreographers of that, Dave Scott and Chuck Maldonado, from taking master classes to going to New York to going to LA and continue to take classes, showing up and saying, hey, remember me? Hey, keep my name. I appreciate what you're doing. Being very humble, letting them know that, you're on your grind and you're honest with your craft. Right. And after that, they kind of dropped me this little thing. After they saw it for about 1.5 years, they saw that I was serious. They said, hey man, guess what? You're gonna come to Atlanta, for an audition for this movie. You might want to show up. And he left it just like that. And I was like, bet.
And that was also in the transition when Triggerrun kind of, went his own creative ways, you know what I mean? And he came up from Florida and moved to Atlanta, and he started seeking out other things until, we kind of got back in together.
For sure.
Nice. Go ahead. I was going to say you beat me to it, because the next question was going to be, you took that and kind of got into creating music. You went from dancing and kind of being, the choreography side. So then you transitioned into making music. You said both of you guys are trained as far as instrumentalists. Talk to me about that.
Well, we came back to music.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So, yeah. So as far as our upbringing, my father, he was a pastor, he was a minister, and a Marine. So, you know what I mean? I was straight and narrow, and, but with him being in the music, he kind of tried to push me and lead me, into the sports and away from it, because it didn't work out for him. And I recall when rap hit, he was like, it ain't gonna last. You know what I mean? And it tore a hole in me, because he didn't believe. And I was like, well, Dad, my thinking was, because I could never say it. I was like, it didn't work for you, but you know what I mean? But, I believe in it, you know what I mean? And it is going to last. And then here we are, 30 years later, hip hop is celebrating its 50th anniversary.
Yeah.
Right. But in H3, same thing, musical household.
Yep.
He was taking piano lessons forcefully.
Yes. I'm glad she for it.
Yeah.
Right.
Mom, thanks, Mom.
Yeah. So we got that musical background from an early age, and like he said, I was violinist and the saxophonist at the same time. Dibble dabble with the piano, sung in the choir. So like I said, man, Triggerrun, we're a roller coaster ride.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? we got a lot of, you know, goodness that's infused in the music as you're here, you know.
No doubt. No doubt. You're bringing some different elements. So talk to us about kind of growing up with hip hop. Like you said, you guys been at it for a 30 piece. Hip hop is only 50. So you've got to be part of literally every generation. You got kind of the boom bap era. We went through the 90s, of course, that produced some of the most classic music ever. 2000s brought gangsta back. Talk to us about how you've been able to navigate these different eras and stay relevant.
You know, it's just we've never been the type of people to follow any crowds, you know what I mean? But we appreciate all music, period.
Oh, yeah.
We love music, you know what I mean? So, you know, we have our own self-identity. We've always been authentic, right? So no matter what comes in, no matter what genre it is, it's like, or what phase of hip hop has been there, we've been able to appreciate it and continue to add our own personal flair to it, right? So we never felt like we was in competition with it. It's like, oh, what's the next thing that's happening? Okay, that's pretty cool. But wait until they hear it. You know, it's just so happened that we didn't have the opportunities that we have now to express it to this level.
Right.
Platforms like yourself, when we were coming up, did not exist, brother. So salute DJ Uncanny, because what you're doing is uncanny. And we've been around long enough to see it and understand that. Dude, thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate the platform because, you know, we like to say the independent, you know, it's like the Underground Railroad, you know, for music, and No Child Left Behind. Right. You know what I mean? Right. And independent music is like the illegitimate child.
Right. That's it.
Of you know, the hip hop music scene. You know what I mean? So without your platform, man, you know, we'll still kind of be lost in the show.
For sure.
You know?
No, and I'm very appreciative of that. You know, thanks for the kudos, and definitely shout out DJ Spins for linking this up. Fleet family all day. You know what I mean? So talk to me about that, about how you kind of watch the internet make this thing blow up, because before it would have been the cassette tapes, CDs out the trunk, you know what I mean? And now the internet gives you everything at the click of a button. So talk to me about that.
Man, it's exciting, man. Because you think about it, like during the time when we were in high school and whatnot, we had this studio in Albany, Georgia, right? And the same thing that huge, expensive studio can do, now you can do it in your cell phone with Garage, right? Just a free download internet software, you create the same quality sound as you could back in the 90s, right? Yeah. And so with that type of possibility, and you still have the gift, why not? If the fire's still burning in you, which it is, right? Why not? And that's an unprecedented experience. And a lot of people are sleeping on it. Like, yo, you know, Miguel, Sincere, we was like, hey man, you know, we might need to do this. It's easier now to let your ideas go from concept to creation than it's ever been. Why not? Who's saying no? The gatekeepers have changed.
Right.
Like we have a studio in our pocket. You could be creating beats and capturing inspiration at a stoplight over at the side while you're waiting for your taxi or waiting for your Uber or waiting for whatever.
Right.
It's like, yo, there's nothing to limit you now. So with that, when we synced up and we linked up, it's been beautiful.
That's what's up. So the music obviously has changed a little bit. The messaging remains the same though. It's like you guys are pure to your hip hop roots. Talk to us about maintaining that, like you said earlier, the authenticity of the music while still sonically being pleasing.
Well, you know what? That's very important for us to maintain, you know, our origins. You know what I mean? Where it all originated from. Because, like I said, we grew up on Def Jam before Outkast made the impact that it was. So, you know what? Even before Outkast made the impact, we were stuck in between New York and South Florida with the Luke and the Miami-based movement, because we used to move and roll with Clay D. You know what I mean? Like, give me a bottle and a mother cup. You know what I mean? That's who we ran with. You know what I mean? Until Outkast came on the scene, and we was like, good, now we get to go home. You know what I mean? Because they wasn't ready to eat. You know what I mean? And then Outkast brought a different flavor that kind of added that third element, because it was always East Coast, West Coast. And then when you got the South involved, it was like, now we can be who we are. You know, we can be true, authentic to ourselves, because Outkast made that possible. You know what I mean? And then the Atlanta scene exploded. So with that, we had cultural influence from upstate New York to down south with the heavy bass movement. And I think that's what you get from Triggerrun. You know, you get that, you know, that gumbo pot of funk that you can hear through Turn Up and you can hear through It's a Party, you know, and through To the Floor, you know. So you hear all of those elements infused together, man, and that's what make Triggerrun, you know, who we are, you know. So
that's almost the perfect lead in. We actually going to play the To the Flow single. We're going to world premiere right here on the Connectz Radio. Introduce that bad boy. We're going to bring it in.
Hey, yo, here we go. Everybody get your mother to the flow. Let's go.
Hold on. Let's go. To the flow. Yeah, to the flow. Right now. Get to the flow. Everybody get your will. All right. Yo, get to the flow. Everybody get your Triggerrun.
Hey yo, let's go. I like the way they show the freak it on the floor. Pop, lock, wind, and dropping down low. Yo, the booty bouncing up and down, round and round she go. They don't stop, get it, go, shorty go. Twerking non-stop like she in the video, making it clap. Yeah, standing up cool, dress to impress, shake it galore. Every time that comes on, shorty freaks the floor. But so wide open, let me see. Yo, order another round of the crown and coke up in the spot, wildin' out. Yo, we aim the bus, plus smell like Vicky Secrets and candy bus. Spin the bitch, Jamaican Joe, we God we trust. Play a steady popping game, trying to. Yo, gotta give a shorty before time is up. Hey, DJ. Turn it up, let's ride.
To the flow.
Everybody get your
To the flow.
Everybody get your
Yo, to the flow.
Everybody
We coming, man. It's your favorite guy, chill will. Y'all already know, man. Listen, your boy Triggerrun that back with another orgasm. Oh, man. Get your ass to the dance floor. Let's go.
You's a boss,
Yeah.
head turner, like Beyonce, place like Tina Turner. The whole club watching you get down, drop it like it's hot, roll it, baby, turn it around. Yeah, shaking, drinks in your head, not 1 ounce spills, the whole club's like that. Men anticipating, wanting more. So get your on the dance floor. Everybody get your Everybody get your
Right now. Yeah, to the flow.
Everybody get your
Yo, to the flow.
Everybody get your
What I should run? Yeah, get your to the flow. Let's go. To the flow. To the flow. To the flow. To the flow. Oh, it's the boy Triggerrun, man. To the flow. Y'all already know, man, how we coming, man.
Oh yeah, you can feel that one. That one is a party. That one is an absolute party, man. The whistles, the bells. DJ Chill Will did his thing. Talk to us about how that came together.
Woo. Oh man, you know what? We were sitting up here, and my man had this one locked in the vault ever since what 2016, 2017?
2017, that's right.
2017, and at that time, you know, we was pushing up, turn up, you know, out the door. You know what I mean? And he was like bothering me and was like, "Hey man, yo, I got this joint, you know, that I need you this." And you know, I'm a kind of guy, you know, that's you know, I'm focused. When I'm focused, I don't have time to entertain nothing. And so, you know, he turned away, you know what I mean? And he came back another day. He circled back around after we finished, and he was like, "Hey man, let me let you hear this." And I was like, because we was trying to figure out what's going on in 2023, what we're going to open with. And I was like, yo, that's dope, man. That's dope, call and response type deal. You know what I mean?
Right.
And he was like, and he was all pressed like, man, you heard it before. And I was like, no, I didn't. And he was like, I said, well, okay, I this is the first time that I'm hearing it, you know what I mean? For the first time, really, I'm hearing it. And so, you know, from that point on, it was like, man, we got to do it. And it was him and Tikawana Hudson. You know, another brother that we rock out with, that he's worked with like Professor Griff and some of the big names around the industry, and he was just holding it, you know. And so I was like, hey man, you know, can we do this? We went and asked for permission. He was like, yeah, but I don't have the scenes. You know what I mean? So I was like, well, dang, all right. I said, so I tell you what, let me get in the lab, you know what I mean? And we started creating it. Hold on. We started creating. And
there you go.
You know, well, you know it, you know, we came up with it. And I asked my man, I said, hey man, you know what would be cool? Man, if we can add another element, man, let's call Chill Will. See if he's down. I got him on the phone. He was like, yeah, man, I'm down. And, you know, the rest is history is what you hear right now, man. And like I said, it's a call and response jam, man, to get the party going, to get the wallflowers off the wall.
That's it.
Definitely.
Because we both produce. And it's like, he might come up with something and I might, and we go ping pong. I may come up with something, throw it to him, whatever. So it's a beautiful, creative, chaotic mess, right? It's beautiful.
For sure.
Now, but I'm gonna pop his collar. This cat right here, wonderful production, wonderful, and he cares about his project. That's why he was like, he couldn't hear me. I was like, hey, bro, check this out. He was like, not now. and that bop, that bounce, that everybody get your he knows exactly where to take it. And you know, and then I'll sit there and be like, hey man, let me see how that. Oh yeah, I can feel that. And we just ping pong back and forth. Like, okay, say no more. But yeah, he gave it that street cred, that vibe, because the original version kind of sounded like a mix between R&B and EDM. It kind of had that vibe. It's totally different from what you're hearing.
Okay.
It was reimagined by this brilliance here.
Yeah, nice.
No,
that's
teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Always. That's dope because the sound, it's electric, man. You can definitely you can hear, like you said, it pulls the wallflowers in. It's got that yeah to it. So that's super dope. Do you guys plan on releasing a video for that single?
Yes, sir. We actually got a video shoot this Saturday, as a matter of fact. Sunday.
Yeah, we got a Sunday, so we're gonna look to release around summertime, around June. That's the goal. You know,
no, that's definitely a summertime record. When that happens, shoot it back to me. We'd love to spin the video here on the show. Now, you guys have been running the independent circuit for a long time. There's a lot of artists who would love to do what you have done and be able to be in your position. If you could give any advice to an upcoming artist, what would it be?
Be authentic to yourself, but don't be so like. This is what I say. Be aware of the trend. Ride the trend, but don't follow the trend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't be an island unto yourself. Being unique doesn't mean that you do not take in information. You got to pay attention to what's going on and find that balance so that you don't lose yourself in what's going on, but you also don't isolate yourself either, because you have to maintain some level of relatability in all of your uniqueness. Because art, in my personal opinion, and I think I can speak from Amanda Gill, we want to be able to reach the people. Right? Sure. My art should not be at your expense, and nor should I be afraid of your rejection or your acceptance of it. It's a gift. You may or may not accept it, but that's okay. Right? So that's,
And at the bottom, at the end of the day, dare to be different.
That's it.
Right?
Yeah.
Just, I mean, because there's a lot of clone out there, you know what I mean? There's a lot of cloning that's being done.
Musical clone meat.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So,
tasting the same.
Yeah, right. So it's almost like, if you really want, to catch some ears, step outside the box, and don't be afraid. And don't be afraid to fail.
That's it.
Okay. That's a big one. So I know time is money, gentlemen. We're not going to hold you too long. Just a couple more. So if I come down to Georgia, you guys said Albany, then the Atlanta area. If I come down there, what is the dish of the area? Everybody got their kind of food. Where y'all going to take me? What y'all going to feed me?
Oh, man, it depends on what your poison is, man. You want some slutty vegan? You want some?
That'll be the first hit. Yeah. You know what I mean? The slutty vegan is one of the, Atlanta's own. You know what I mean? Okay. So gotta take you there. But me myself, hey, I'm going for Caribbean jerk. Chicken.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, man.
All right. All right, I gotta tap in.
You just get down here, DJ Uncanny. We got you.
Yeah, all right, bet it up. I'm supposed to be checking in for the A3C Festival in October. So if I'm down there, I'm definitely going to tap in with you, gentlemen. For sure. Let them know where to find you, man.
Yeah, we on all streaming platforms: Google Play, Amazon, Spotify, whatever you're streaming, we're there. Definitely put us in rotation. We're on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Triggerrun.
Double G-E-R-R-U-N, double G-double-R.
That's it.
One word.
That's it.
Triggerrun on everything. Fellas, is there anything else you want to leave with the fans before you go?
Hey, we just want to say thank you so much. Definitely thank you, DJ Uncanny. Thank you for everybody who support independent artists. You know, age ain't nothing but a number. Legendary. You be a legend in your own mind. Doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter how long you've been doing your art. Art doesn't die, right? It just transforms. It evolves. That's it.
Yeah. Hey, spinners, players, savers, lock us into your playlist. You know what I mean?
We need you.
Yeah. We need you, right? Without a doubt.
Y'all know what, man? Y'all connected and respected, man, and we appreciate y'all brothers' time. Everybody tune in. Make sure y'all tap in with Triggerrun on all your favorite social media platforms. Find their music everywhere you find music. And, of course, you can find this and every other Connectz radio show interview everywhere you catch your favorite podcast. That's iHeartRadio, Spotify, Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and more. You know what to do, man. Tap in with @TheRealUncanny across all your favorite socials. Real big on IG. Trying to get the 2,500 followers. Help your boy out, man. Remember, every show is powered by, every interview is powered by, every record that I spin is powered by bettersblock.com, getyourbuzzup.com, midwestmixtapes.com, straightofficial.com, the Fleet DJs, the Nerve DJs, and of course, the fam, the Midwest Connectz. If you ain't connected, you ain't respected. All you got to do is stay tuned. We'll be back next week with some more of this live.